I want to speak to every individual that's watching today. But before I do that, I want to thank every organizer, every IPO member, every attorney, every neighbor, organizations like OCAD, ICER, Palenque, LSNA, who showed up today to protect our neighbors, who showed up today to protect our families. Thank you for putting your bodies on the line to make sure that we can keep families together. But to the individuals that are watching, don't let that fascist man that sits in the Oval Office convince you that he is only deporting criminals. Don't let that manipulative man convince you that we are better without the people that he is kidnapping from our city. Do not let the White House convince you that we are safer because of what he is doing. In fact, what he is doing is putting our communities at the most risk. He is leaving behind children. He is separating families. He is taking away providers. He is taking away organizers from our community. The people that showed up today, they showed up in good faith. They showed up with cases. They showed up with attorneys. They showed up with every single law on their side to ensure that they went back home to their families, and they were kidnapped today by ICE. Do not let anyone else convince you otherwise. And for everyone who is watching who may know a neighbor or a relative, who may receive a text message to show up to an appointment that may have come from this nonprofit organization getting millions off kidnapping people.
Shame on them. Shut it down.
Remind them that they have elected officials who will ensure that we shut it down.
Shut it down!
That we will demand our mayor and every single department in the city of Chicago to find where they are renting, and we will shut them down.
Shut it down!
Because in the city of Chicago, there are elected officials who wish to keep you safe. Despite that man that's in the Oval Office, you have local elected officials that wish, that work, that will put our bodies on the line to keep you safe. Those individuals that showed up today, they're kidnappers. And we can't call them anything else. They robbed families of their mothers. They robbed families of their siblings. They robbed families of their fathers. The image that will forever be ingrained in my head will be the women in handcuffs crying, begging their families to help. The fathers who were taken out of that building crying, begging for us to help. And so we will do just that. We will not rest until we ensure that we demand for their release, because they have every right to be here. And until ICE and all these organizations understand that Chicago is not the place to come. We won't let it happen. It happened in Minneapolis yesterday. They tried it here today. It won't happen again. It is my honor to introduce a partner that's been in this work for a really long time. Someone in many cases who educates me.
You could have stopped that!
How did you know this was happening?
Reddit.
Kamala Harris, You described the riots in Los Angeles as overwhelmingly peaceful. People are going to potentially lose their lives. Thousands of National Guards are coming in. 500 Marines have just been issued to get to Los Angeles. People are burning cars, rioting, mommies, daddies, women, and children, and you find this overwhelmingly peaceful, and at the same time, you say that this is Donald Trump's fault. You don't take responsibility for having these open borders or responsibility for letting everybody pour in when we told you that Joe Biden, all he had to do was sign an executive order to close the borders, didn't have any agreement with the Republican Party as the president, had the right, had the executive order right to shut those borders down, but you made an excuse and blame the Republicans why everybody poured in. But this is overwhelmingly peaceful to you as you see families under duress and people screaming and yelling and hurting police officers and throwing, looks like to me, Molotov cocktails on cars and burning them down. And you're okay with this and you're in line with this because it's quoted that the only thing that you and Governor Newsom care about is the community and the people around in Los Angeles. That's the most important thing. Because we don't want to talk about what happened in the Palisades anymore, right? That was just a fluke. That just happened by accident. As we won't forget about Maui, where thousands and thousands of people have lost their homes due to this incredible fire that came out of nowhere. You know, I have to tell you, at the end of the day, it's amazing how you just don't go away. You should just be saying, I am so grateful that I got so far on the political ladder, so far up on the political ladder to become the vice president of the United States of America, and the possibility that you almost became president. Oh my God. No matter what Donald Trump does, no matter what mistakes he might make, I have to tell you, I pray to God and I thank him every day that thank God that Kamala Harris, did we dodge a bullet? Kamala Harris could have been your president.
Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Now I just want to welcome you back once again to this platform where we get to learn, we get to unlearn and relearn. And in today's episode, I just have these videos of rioters, and they're in LA, and it's so sad to see the situation right now in LA just after people went outside and started protesting. Some of them are being pulled by police. Some of them they are badly beaten by the police. And now this takes me back to when these people they were casting their votes. I don't know if they really knew that this is what they were voting for when they voted for Donald Trump. And many blacks told them that, you know what, I don't think you need to vote for Mr. Donald Trump. I just want us to see the situation in the place. I just want us to see also the reaction of some of the Latinos, whites and blacks. And later on, let's gather here and have a talk. I'll share my commentary later on after this clip. You can share your views concerning the saying. How do you feel about the video? What are your views? And please, if this is your first time in this channel, please consider supporting us by simply subscribing. Give us a like, share our content. We'll greatly appreciate. Let's rock in now that you've done so.
Riots are gonna happen. Riots are happening here now. Police are now pepper spraying. They're throwing stuff out here in the streets. They're blocking eyes, blocking the FBI from coming through.
You could have stopped them!
How did you know this was happening?
Reddit.
What brings you out here? Supporting the cause. Yeah, it's something I believe in. I feel like this is a part of history. I don't want to be on the wrong side.
I want to speak for 1 second to what's happening in Los Angeles right now. I'm going to start out by saying that I have not yet been to one of the protests, although I will be tomorrow. So I'm not going to tell you what's happening at the protests. I have lots of friends who have been to them. I know that they started out peaceful. They did not end peacefully last night. A union leader was assaulted and is now in the hospital and will be arraigned on Monday. For what? I don't know. Impeding ICE? I know the National Guard is going to be unleashed on us tonight. They are trying to escalate, and what people here are trying to do is to peacefully respond and say that we don't want ICE in our city. Tom Homan went on Fox News today and said two things that are unbelievable, among others. First, that every single person they've picked up is a criminal. Every single person is a criminal. They are rounding people up at Home Depot parking lots. They just know for a fact that all of those people are sexual predators or gang members, as he said. Are you fucking kidding me? They are walking into elementary schools during graduation and tearing parents away from their children. America, this is what you want? These people are members of our communities. They have lived here for decades. They have families. They have children who are citizens. What are we doing? The other thing that Tom Homan said, they should be thanking us. We're making their city safer. We don't feel safer. And folks, when they come to your city and do this, you won't feel safer either. You will feel terrorized because this is an attack on our communities. When you see this happen in front of you, when you see children sobbing because their parents have been torn away from them for no reason other than they have not been fortunate enough to get citizenship yet, when you see ICE assaulting people in courtroom hallways who came there in good faith to do their immigration hearing, when you see the smoke from the tear gas and police in riot gear, when people are just saying we don't want this in our city, you will not feel safer. What Trump is doing, what this administration is doing, will not make us safer. It will not help anything. This is not the way. There is a way to do immigration reform. This is not it. This is violence. Please don't listen to what people like Tom Homan are saying on Fox News. Every time they open their mouths, they're lying. They're vicious people. We don't want you here. And to my immigrant community here in Los Angeles, we love you. We will stand with you every fucking step of the way. ICE out of LA.
Feel tough with your assault rifles and your sticks? You should be standing here with us. You're on the wrong side of history. We know you got a job to do, but you took an oath to the Constitution, not to the fascists in the White House. Think about what you're doing now. Think about what this means. Coming into our community. Peaceful fucking community. People working their jobs. They send in men in military fatigues. Weapons of war into our communities. And you stand here and you allow it. I am sick and tired of it. You should be sick and tired of it. You think any of these people in the White House sending you these commands give a fuck about you? Not one of them do. They laugh at you. Our president laughs at you. He calls you fools. He said the people who died overseas in the military were chumps. That's who you're defending right now. Every last... Think about your place in history, ladies and gentlemen. Ask yourself when you wake up tomorrow. I don't know if you have kids. Ask yourself the future you want for your children. Is it this? You can answer me. Is it this? Do you feel good about this? You're tough behind your fucking masks and your fatigues and with your weapons, but how do you feel on the inside? This is our fucking community, and we will fight for it if we have to. Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets?
Our streets!
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 We have to talk about what's going on in Los Angeles, because either you're reading the news and there was a giant riot last night and buildings on fire and people are looting, or people were just being kidnapped off the street by people in masks with regular clothes. And so I wanted just to get you the facts as we know them right now. Donald Trump is doing his national immigration crackdown, which does involve deportations and raids. And when they do that, they do it between different federal agencies, and when they honestly do it, there really is no uniform in which they do it. They just kind of get out of unlocked vans with tactical gear, run where they need to run to, grab people, and then kind of drive away. A lot of people are terrified by that, because they're not wearing like actual named things. Instead, it's regular clothes. So when people see this, they get terrified, even if they are Americans, because they don't know if they're going to be kidnapped. So yesterday, we saw what looked to be ICE agents alongside other agents get out of their vehicles and arrest people, detain them, and kind of drive away. There were already protests underway over these deportations, and so then we started seeing some kind of clashes going on between those who are doing the deportations and the protesters. Something to keep in mind is that Paramount is a massive hub for Latinos, and so when they went after they had a staging area in that area near that Home Depot, a lot of people said, oh, we're going over there. We don't like what's going on here. We're going to protest. As Americans, you can protest what your government is doing. But then, as these were protesting, I will say that both sides got very dirty here. The agents started unleashing tear gas and flashbang explosives and pepper bells, and obviously that led to a lot of commotion and confusion, and then things got, I wouldn't call them violent, but they definitely got on a level where I did see videos of people throwing rocks at the ICE cars as they were trying to speed away. In my report yesterday, we talked about the head of DHS and the Attorney General come out and say those who are interfering will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. In their tweets, they called everything happening there as rioters, though at that point there was no evidence of rioters. Donald Trump then announced that he would be sending National Guard troops to control the protests because he felt like the mayor of LA, Bass, and the California governor, Newsom, were not doing enough. Even though Donald Trump did say National Guard would be there last night, today the LA Mayor Bass said that there was no evidence that the National Guard was actually present on the ground. And Gavin Newsom pushed back from National Guard completely by saying, well, this is only going to escalate the tensions. Last time the National Guard was brought up from the president himself was all the way back in 1992, and that was in LA after riots, after the Rodney King verdict. That being said, we're nowhere near that kind of violence or rioting. Actually, if you go through the reports, even though Donald Trump says that there are riots and people are rioting and or breaking into shops, there's no evidence of that at all. This morning around 2:41 a.m., Donald Trump thanked the National Guard. Once again, at that point, we had not seen the National Guard on the actual ground. He says we have an incompetent governor, Newscrum, and Mayor Bass, who were, as usual, just look how they handle the fires, and now they're very slow permitting disaster. Federal permitting is complete. These radical left protests by instigators and are often paid troublemakers will not be tolerated. Also, from now on, masks will not be allowed to be worn at protests. Why do these people have to hide, and why? Again, thank you to the National Guard for a job well done. That said, we are expected to see more protests today, as this actually made the situation a lot worse. I know that the sheriff's office and a couple of officials inside of LA said from the get-go, federal agents, if you wanted to do this, you never even give us a heads up. There was no organization. You kind of made things worse doing it this way. That being said, now officially, California's National Guard are there this morning. We've seen reports showcasing that as of at least 8 o'clock in the morning, they are on the ground. I would like to remind everyone that as Americans, we are allowed to protest. We are allowed to show that we're angry with what the administration or whoever is doing what that we don't like. When it comes to these deportations, it's not a Democrat versus Republican thing. At this very moment, there's a lot of Democrats and Republicans together saying, we don't like what's going on here. In the beginning, you were going after criminals. You were going after the really bad people, drug dealers, things like that. We obviously don't want those people on the ground here. Now they're not going after hardened criminals. They're going after everyday Joes. We've seen videos and photos of dads having to hug their kids goodbye, who, maybe had been in this country, maybe illegally, but married, had children, started businesses, and they're having to be kicked out of the country. Or, like the other day, we saw a girl who is going to have to be kicked out of the country, even though she's here for medical reasons. And they said that, well, if you don't, continue this, it's not going to be good for her. And they don't have a choice. She's got to go. Republicans and Democrats are coming together to stop things like this, to stop people being snatched off the streets or taken away from their jobs. We've seen videos of job sites, of people who are actually working hard, contributing to society. And if the argument is it's because they're here illegally, then let's put together a system in which they can be here legally. They want to work for a construction company? Okay, let's get them onto a certain visa. They've been in the country for 5+ years? Well, let's give them, temporary working papers. Let's go ahead and give them a chance to, pay back or, allow them to pay taxes. Because if you look at this out of the way, these people haven't done anything wrong except for overstay their visa. If they're willing to stay and pay taxes and a fair share, then they should be allowed to stay. Because just because they have overstayed their visa doesn't mean these are hardened criminals that need to be kidnapped in the middle of the night or at their job when they're just trying to do things for their families, make money for their families, or send money home or something. If the only crime here is that they came here illegally, let's issue them paperwork, maybe figure out, how long you've been here, have you been paying tax, you doing this, do a background check. If they're bad people, then kick them out. But if they're good, honest people just trying to make a living, trying to support their family, then we need to look to see what is going on with the system and fix it. Know that this one was a longer video. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on everything happening in Los Angeles and news from around the world. So please do share my videos and follow me for more.
I feel like everything that's going on in LA right now was a trap. Something about these LA riots do not sit right with me. I'm talking about the timing, the energy, the way everything is being covered. It's like they knew this was coming, y'all. I know y'all seen the videos of like piles of bricks being staged at certain locations before chaos happened. Then when the chaos started, those same bricks that was placed everywhere, people started using them. So it started out peaceful, and then all of a sudden, boom, it escalated to this. You had people throwing rocks, bricks, waving flags. You had some people in ski masks, you don't even know if they were really there for the protest or was they just trying to entice some shit. Whatever the case may be, it caused Donald Trump to bring in 2,000 troops. But some people say this was too early for them to do that. Look, I'm not trying to say it's staged. I'm just saying, what are they benefiting from this? Why now? And why did it start in LA? Why are certain groups that's involved in organizing are some of the same groups that's involved in political funding? People got to start understanding. We all seen this playbook before. We got to stop acting like history haven't shown us. Escalate tension, then show the chaos, and then push for a solution that nobody asked for. I'm keeping a close eye on this because, like I said, I just got a funny feeling that this is going to start some new surveillance or some new policies, y'all. That's probably been in the making. Y'all, stay tuned. It's kicking off in LA, but I'm hearing it might go as far as the DMV, Texas, New York. I don't know.
I can't handle this, y'all. This is crazy, yo. I didn't think this was about to affect me like this. But our neighbor's school, y'all know I work at a school. Fuck. Our neighboring school, I think it's Gratas, I don't know how to say it. It's Gratas or something like that. They were having their graduation. And there's helicopters in the sky. Most of these schools are... Fuck, yo. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden, a bunch of parents have to run out because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, you know, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, you know, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, you know, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of got like off of a soft lockdown. And, you know, parents had to run out because they don't have papers. And they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of shit is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home. What the fuck is this? And we voted for this shit? 15 people just got picked up on Wilshire at the Home Depot. On Wilshire. Yo. Man, oh my God. This is not right. This is not right, yo.
Hello guys, now welcome back again. I hope you had a good time while watching those clips that I just compiled them for you. And I just don't know if this is the change that Mr. Donald Trump was telling the whites, the Latinos and the blacks. You know, they were saying that he's going to fix the country. He's going to make a difference. He's going to transform America and make it great again. And most of the whites, I believe, and Latinos, they didn't vote for him just because of these policies, but because of they knew that he's one of their own, is one with their color. And I think now this has costed them big time, because look at whatever that is happening right now. Look at whatever that just happened even few weeks ago, when people were getting deported, people were getting arrested. Yeah, there were a lot of things happening. If you look at the stalls, there's no food in the stalls, no workers, because you've deported everyone. So who do you think is going to work? Because you've already taken the workers outside the country. And like I said earlier, black people knew all this before they voted, before they did cast their vote. They knew that this is not the system that they would want. They knew that these are not the policies that they would vote for. They wanted equality. They wanted equity. They wanted to see a transformed United States. But this was in contrary to what the whites wanted. They wanted someone who would be there and continue this narrative of American dream, where they get favored while at the expense of others. But it turns out differently. Now everyone is sipping the same cup of hardship. Right now, it's not just the blacks who have been going through all this for the longest time. It's not just about the blacks who they are just used to all this happening to them. They are used to getting deported, some of them getting arrested, some of them being sacked from jobs. They're used to this. The system was never on their side. And right now, everyone is facing the hard truth. Everyone is getting to see that all this while blacks knew that the system was not going to do any American any good. And they tried to advise Latinos, some of them who were the large numbers who voted for Mr. Trump. They also tried to tell the whites, but they couldn't listen. Now, karma has caught up with them. They are really bowing to it. And I always say that let not just experience be your teacher, but let an analyzed experience teach you well. They should look at history and look at everything that they've just experienced, and next time while they are trying to vote, don't look at someone who looks like you. Vote for someone who is in for humanity, someone who is in for equality and equity, someone who will protect the interests of the people. I'm your presenter to Rain, and these are my honest remarks. I don't know what you think of this, but let's keep on engaging in the comment section. And if this was your first time in this channel, please consider supporting us, man. It's very simple. You tap that subscription button, give us a like, and you've already supported us. We thank you so much for those who've supported us. We thank you so much for returning subscribers, and I'm hoping to see you in the next video. Goodbye.